Hey guys, Ron from FunctionBuilt-Aquatics, and I'm shooting an update video on my Betta antuta. I just recently decided to consolidate two separate spawnings that were about 3 weeks apart into one tank. I needed to actually free up two 5.5 gallon tanks for some up and coming male Una maculata that were holding eggs and will soon be spitting. I like to move the males after the first 12 days or so to a separate tank where they actually spit their fry, and in time they can recuperate from not eating for about 14 to 15 days, and in time they can also help me break the fry into eating dry foods. I discussed this exact scenario in other videos prior to this. In this tank we currently have 46 Betta antuta fry. 3 weeks difference in age like I mentioned prior, but yet the sizes are pretty close and pretty similar. I felt the fish could compete with the different actually group with no problem, since their sizes were not vastly different. This tank is a little bit more open bottom than I currently go with a lot of my other wild Betta setups. I wanted to try to keep an open bottom so I can vacuum the bottom of the glass and do more water changes to try to keep the growth more stable and more even in this particular group of fish. These guys are feeding on their second feeding of tube effects worms. Well, actually it's the second feeding of the day, and that second feeding of the day is usually when I give them the freeze-dried tube effects worms. I noticed that when you feed them like this, especially twice a day, their bellies maintain a nice full round appearance. I don't know if it dulls some of the aggressiveness in the actual fish themselves, but I know that Betta antuta in general are not known for being overly aggressive towards one another. The freeze-dried tube effects worms makes a huge difference. It allows the fish to graze slowly and pick on what they want. Sometimes this cube will last for 25 to 30 minutes or so. Sometimes it only lasts about 5 minutes depending on the size. With 46 fish in this tank, a cube that size will probably only last about 10 minutes. Now, I do keep ram's horn snails in the tank to eat some of the uneaten food and some of the fish waste. But the problem you have is ram's horn snails also produce waste in their own right. And I find it hard to believe that one waste is less harmful than other. So with that being said, I decided not to put a whole lot of leaves in the bottom of the tank so I can actually vacuum the bottom out and try something new and do more water changes on the setups. I'm trying to find a more consistent manner to grow fry out and keep the growth stages stable. I'm trying to fight that battle. I don't want any runts. In the Una maculata complex, I have found that it's very easy for me to actually maintain a very consistent growth stage. In this particular setup right here, there are no runts. There are no tiny fish, no skinny fish that are lagging behind. Originally, I spawned one pair and was able to get close to 20 fry. Then the second pair I spawned, the male was able to spit close to 42, I think, total. Overall, all the fry, even though 3 weeks age difference, show no size difference where they can't compete with the different group. So I'm pretty happy with that being said. In time, these guys will outgrow this 10-gallon tank, and my intention is probably to use one of the 75-gallon tanks to grow out the sub-juvies into adults. Those two 75-gallon tanks, even though I would love to set them up as paludariums or some sort of a natural setup for wild bettas, are probably going to be needed for grow out tanks. I intend on selling all these fish, maybe keep a few of them for myself, but I currently have a lot of adults, so these guys will have to go at some point. Now this is a close-up video of one of the larger adult fry, showing you his cool scale pattern, some of the light hues that eventually in time with age he'll start to show. This original pair, the adults are more silver in color and have a little bit more bluish green hue in the fins, tail fins, and the ventral fins themselves. The other actual younger pair, the adults are more brown in color and also have their own greens and blues, but they're not as silver as the older fry that are in this tank. I'm going to let you watch the rest of this video. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, thumbs up, and comment. FunctionBuilt-Aquatics, Betta antuta.
Well, welcome to the Terror Dome.
Come on! Yo, look at you now. You ain't want to listen to me. Now look at you.